What do you think we should study for the test tomorrow?
I need to brush up more on the required reserve ratio. What about you?
I'm going to learn more about the credit and debit system.
I think we should look at the Fed too.
So the required reserve ratio is the required amount of money banks are supposed to keep of people's deposits, and the Fed kind of controls how much this is. So right now it's at 10%. The remaining 98% are the excess reserves, and that's what banks give people when they get a loan. And the banks make money off of giving people loans through the excess reserves, through the money multiplier effect.
So the Fed, or the Federal Reserve, works to stabilize the economy by controlling the amount of money in circulation. And they buy bonds to make the money flow bigger, and they sell bonds to take the money out of the economy.
So basically the major differences between credit and debit is credit is something that you borrow from the bank and it has more liability involved. It's not part of the money supply. Debit, on the other hand, comes directly from your personal account. It's basically electronic money, and it is part of the M1 money supply.
Studying helped a lot, but I still think we could do more.
Dude, we probably know way more than like the average student, though, if you think about it.
Shouldn't the average student know this? What is the required reserve ratio?
Variance on those, like hippopotamus.
That the Federal Reserve requires commercial banks to hold at all times.
10%.
Credit and debit.
Oh, so like credit is, like the card my daddy gives me to spend money. And debit is when you spend too much on the card. Yeah?
Close enough.
Can you tell me the difference between credit and debit?
Credit's like money that is kind of borrowed. It's not your money, it's not your company's money. And debit is your actual money from your account.
Exactly.
You tell me the difference between debit and credit.
Credit is money that you're borrowing, and debit is money that you already have.
The Fed.
The FedEx delivery.
They're the Federal Reserves, and they're in charge of all of the money for America.
Can you tell me how the Federal Reserve expands or reduces the money supply?
Isn't the Federal Reserve where all the money from a nation is put, and if it is surplus, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't sound dumb.
How does the Federal Reserve expand or reduce the money supply?
Expand or reduce? What's the Federal Reserve?
Right, so to expand the money supply, the Federal Reserve will buy government bonds to kind of put money into the economy, and then they will lower taxes, so people will spend more money, which will pump more money into the economy, which will increase the money supply. And to reduce it, they will sell bonds, which gets rid of money.
I know that the Fed isn't the FedEx delivery people.
Yeah, I know. I'm just glad that we found people who actually know what they're talking about, though.
I'm glad that we studied for this test. Gordon Kennington. I was a studying student. I interviewed people and I helped brainstorm.
My name is Kyle Hatch. I was a studying student, an interviewer, and I helped brainstorm questions.
My name is Megan Gurney, and I was a studying student, an interviewer, and I helped brainstorm for the video.
I'm Jed Belith. I was a cameraman, editor, and helped brainstorm for questions.